We have returned. Did you like that commercial I just did? I know that they always play my commercial right before this. It was good commercial, so I love that commercial. Where are we now, Jim?
We are at Mr. Know-It-All.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where I ask questions and Attorney Leahy has no answer. No, he has answers to all of life's problems. The first question I have for you is, I am currently in a payment plan with the IRS. Should I pay off my past IRS debt or focus on keeping current with my federal taxes? Isn't this the cascading issue?
This is a cascading issue. And I had this is someone came into my office this week with this problem. And I wish he would have come in a couple of months ago before he paid his past IRS debt. So he's trying to buy a home. And so there's a lien against him. So he's trying to pay off he's trying to pay off his IRS debt so he can get rid of the lien. Now, there's other ways to get rid of a lien, and we've talked about that on the show. Sometimes if you owe less than $25,000, you can do a withdraw. You can apply for them to withdraw their lien, and if you're going to make arrangements to pay them. So you owe less than $25,000. You allow them to take it out of your bank account every month automatically, and you pay them in full over a period of time. They will withdraw the lien. So that's not just a release. They will withdraw it, which means that it is removed from your credit report like it never happened. And that removal from your credit report will probably bounce your credit score 80 to 100 points and might make all the difference between you getting a loan and not getting a loan, or at least getting a loan with a good rate, so you can afford it.
Interest rate,
yeah, so it makes sense. So he's trying to do that, but the problem that he has now is that he has his 2015 tax return that was due in April. He didn't file because he didn't have the money. He used the money to pay his past IRS debt instead of focusing and paying this year's debt. That's a mistake. Okay, it's all about timing and planning and strategy. If you don't understand the way they apply debt or the way they apply your payments to the debt, then you're kind of at their mercy on how they do it. So I send them money, they're going to apply it any way they want. So you have to be very careful about how you're applying the debt. If you have money and you want to pay them off, you got to think in the future too. I always tell people, right, look to the future, and then we can worry about this. So what he should have done was paid his 2015 debt and kept in that payment plan and paid the payment plan. He owes less than $25,000. We could have withdrawn the lien, and he would be right where he needed to be. But because he used the money to pay down the IRS debt, now he has what they call they're going to terminate. He has defaulted on his IRS installment agreement, because part of an installment agreement is that you agree to pay your taxes on time and file on time. No extension, nothing like that. And if you ask for an extension or you don't file on time, they will cancel your debt. They'll terminate your installment agreement. So now you can't get the lien released because now you're not in compliance. And if you're not in compliance, they won't release the lien, and there's nothing you can do. So now you got to fight to get in compliance. And if he used all of his extra money to pay the extra, the back taxes instead of his current taxes, well, now he's stuck because he doesn't have the money. So it gets really complicated. So again, if you have an installment agreement and you have come into some extra money and you're worried, well, how am I going to apply this? Call me and we could sit down and try to come up with a strategy to make sure you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Because that's the key. You have a plan. And if you don't know how it all works, it's hard to implement the plan that's going to work for you. So it's very important, to
sounds like it.
Well, it's very important to contact. So this happens a lot, though, again, with installment agreements. Also, I think people don't understand with an offer and compromise. So I've had people come to see me. They say, well, I've had an offer and compromise, and the IRS has canceled it. They terminated my offer and compromise. How can they do that? Well, part of the offer and compromise, part of the agreement, not only are they going to take this lump sum, and they're going to take any refund I have that year, they're also part of the agreement says that I'm going to pay my taxes and file on time for the next 5 years. And so if I don't 4 years later, I don't file my tax return on time. I asked for a extension. Well, guess what? I've just canceled my offer in compromise. And all that money that they said that I owed, now I owe again. And so I'm right back where I was. And all the money I paid, now they're going to add interest to all that money, and it's going to be a lot bigger than it was before, and you're stuck again. Now you're back, right back where you were. And the problem, I think, is a lot of people don't understand that. They do get a letter, and it explains it all to them, but they don't answer. They don't read the letter. Read the letter. Or have your... And again, I could say, I explain it to my own clients. You have to sit down and really understand the agreement. The agreement is not only to be an installment agreement, not only to pay this lump sum in an offer and compromise, but to stay in compliance. Compliance is so important to the IRS. And if you don't stay in compliance, you're going to knock yourself out of any agreement you might have had. So anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't answer your question, there are other ways of getting that answer solved, such as calling Opem Tax Resolutions at 312-664-6649. And you can also go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com and look at all the highlight videos, and maybe
and there's a chat
question
box
is
will
right
come
in there.
up.
And a chat box is there. And you can call a hotline. What's the hotline number?
312-262-5614.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because after the commercial break, more IRS Radio Hours coming at you here on AM 560.
The answer.